Before we have a look at how Practica can help you in your individual situation, let's have a look at how a baby's brain develops, the rate of brain development, and the results of stimulation on the developing brain. When a baby is born, all the brain cells that he is ever going to have is present in his brain. At birth, however, the brain cells can't be used because they are not yet connected to each other. Now, as your baby uses his brain during the first years of his life, trillions of connections form between his brain cells. The more he uses a certain part of his brain, the more connections are going to be formed in that part. On the other hand, the parts of his brain that are used less often are going to develop a lot less connections. As the formative years draw to a close, the brain cells that have not developed any connections are going to disintegrate and be lost forever. We can literally say that a child's brain develops according to the use it or lose it principle. We have looked at how your child's brain develops. Let's have a look now at the rate of brain development. The largest part of the brain's development takes place during the first years of life. From birth to 21 months, the circumference of a baby's brain develops from 35 centimeters to 50 centimeters. And then, look at this, from 21 months to 21 years, the brain only grows from 50 to 55 centimeters. Well, this certainly gives one explanation as to why children are so active during the first 24 months. The results of stimulation are astounding. These are two medical brain scans. This child has been stimulated while this child, sadly, has not. Note that these children are both 3 years old. It is obvious that there is far more activity in the stimulated brain. Frankly, it seems as if there is about twice as much going on in there. This explains why the first 7 years are called the formative years. It is during this period that a child's brain is formed. This is the foundation for life. You may have noticed that there are different parts in a child's brain. Now, these different areas deal with different aspects. There are, in fact, 50 different areas of development that need to be stimulated. These developmental areas are called school readiness skills. In South Africa, they are tested by means of a school readiness test before a child goes to school. Ensuring that a child's school readiness skills are well developed is important, since these skills are important for a child to do well at school, both academically and on the sports field. All these skills develop simultaneously from birth up to 7. They work together whenever a child does anything. When he kicks a ball, he uses 8 of these skills. And interestingly, when one skill is weak, all the others suffer. This can be compared to a rugby team. When one player is weak, all the other team members suffer. This explains why talented children also underachieve in school. A child may be talented in certain things, but the 1 or 2 weaknesses that he may have can very easily undermine his efforts. Let me give you an example. A child may, for instance, have a natural knack for maths, but if he finds it difficult to recognize the difference between a 6 and a 9, he definitely won't be getting the marks that he deserves. The problem is the following. We as parents often unknowingly neglect to stimulate the weaker skills in our children. We don't do this on purpose, but we practically do this by only buying toys that our children love and by playing the games with them that they naturally enjoy. The fact is that they love certain toys and games solely because it requires of them to use skills that they are naturally good at. The games that our children don't like to play are usually the ones that require them to use skills that they're not good at. These games, in reality, are the ones that we as parents should encourage our children to play more often. But we often don't have special ideas to make the unpopular games more appealing, especially not at all the different ages.